Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Justin.
What are we doing today?
Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 games as ranked on the Board Game Geek.
Right.
And we're just going to be looking at them and talking about what we know of them, what we think of them, why we think they are where they are.
And the reason we're doing this video was because last year we gave ourselves an epic quest.
It was grand.
And we failed it.
Which wasn't so good.
No. And we had written down the top 10 games at that moment in time.
Yep.
It was like January 2015.
Yep.
And we were going to play every game. And we were going to have a video for each game and a playthrough. And we were going to talk about them. And we were going to have a panel of guests. It proved way too epic.
Yeah.
So we couldn't complete it.
Yeah.
So this is the abridged version.
Yeah. So we still get to do it, which is awesome.
Right.
And you get to enjoy it, which is awesome.
Right.
All right.
And we still get to half succeed on our quest.
All right. We'll take half points for that. That's
right.
all good.
Yeah.
All right. So
we'll start at 10 and go to 1. And remember, this is from January 2015. It's not the current list.
Yeah.
We'll do that in a separate video.
All right. So number 10 a year ago, January 2015, was Power Grid.
Now, have we played that game?
We have.
One time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it when I played it the one time.
That I didn't.
You didn't?
Not particularly.
I tend to go for... I didn't find the math too mathy. Like, I know that's one strike against it that people say it's too mathy. But I didn't mind it. I liked the system of it.
The system is very clean, like streamlined, which is nice. And I think the reason why people complain about the mathiness of it and why it actually turned me off is because you have to follow several streams of math logic and then pick what is the most beneficial, efficient, and then hope it doesn't get messed up by somebody in the auction.
And I think it's well liked because of that reason.
Yeah. Because
some people really like to calculate those things,
yeah.
odds, and figuring out all that math.
Yep.
I think another reason that it was high on the list is because of how those resources on the bottom of the board worked.
Yes, that's very cool.
I really, really liked how that worked too.
A very interesting,
a supply and demand kind of.
Yeah. A unique interaction between the players, which is very cool. I like that. I
really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed how the auction worked. I didn't mind that I had to count up, this is what I have to do later on, so I have to save this much money, and then I only have this much money for the auction.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that part.
I did not like the auction.
You didn't like the auction?
No, I prefer First Sparks auction because it's unique and interesting, whereas this is just a straight auction. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's boring.
So,
yeah.
Those are our thoughts on Power Grid.
Right on.
It was number 10.
Number 10.
Let's see. Number 9.
Number 9 a year ago was Mage Knight. Have we played this?
We have played this several times.
Yeah, we owned it for quite some time.
We owned it for a long time.
Yep.
Yes. I really loved it at first, of course, because that's why we bought it. We played a friend's copy and we're like, this is the most awesome game ever!
This is amazing!
And we bought it.
Yeah.
And then the more we played it, the less fun I kept having at it.
Yeah.
And I think it was because the cards at the beginning, how you play them, it's like, this is a really cool thing. I love how you deck build like this. I love it, love, love. And then after a while, we would play the campaign or the scenario or whatever it's called. And then all of a sudden, I felt like my deck wasn't as fun anymore, and it was harder to get what I wanted. It was harder to deck build, and it kept getting less cool every time I played it.
Well, the first time you play, you're discovering the cards, and that discovery of the new cards to add into your deck gets really exciting, and I can do these amazing things, which is so awesome. And then after you play it several times, that deck is not that big. So you discover all the cards very quickly, and then there's no new discovery of awesome new abilities. And the other thing, of course, is that there are some dominant strategies in that game. If you can find a way to move around the board cheaply, you're going to kick all sorts of butt.
And you're right. That's why I got frustrated. Moving was frustrating.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I was just always trying to move. And anyway. So why do we think it was number 9 a year ago?
I think the reason why it's so high on the list is because other than those couple little things that we didn't like about it, it is a very amazing experience.
It's definitely an epic Amero game, for sure.
Yeah.
It's got a huge scope. The theme is like a very fantastical, and it's really gripping to the imagination.
Yeah.
And the mechanisms that drive the game also blend well with the theme.
Yeah.
So I think it deserves the number 9 it had last year, for sure. I don't lean towards the Amero games to start with, I don't think. I think I thought I did, and now I think I don't.
It'd be interesting to see how many people agree with you that it's Amero thrashy, because there might be a lot of people that would disagree.
Why would you say it's not Amero-y? It feels Amero-y to me.
Because it's very, the mechanisms are very Euro. Deck building, deck management, you throw some dice for mana, but there's no dice chucking.
No, see, when I stick my finger in and taste it, it tasted like an Amero game, not like a Euro game.
Yeah.
To me.
And
I'm just a girl that has a channel, and you can take it or leave it, right? But that's my feelings.
Yeah. And I think another reason why it doesn't hit on all cylinders for us as compared to the people that love it is we don't play Mage Knight very oppositional. So we go in competing for the most points, but we don't like attack each other and have that direct confrontation.
Maybe you need that to make it work.
Yeah. And that's not something that we enjoy, so we never even
not as a
consider.
couple gaming. I mean, I don't mind to like be confrontational with you, but I don't really like stabbing you.
Yeah.
That sounds like contradiction in words, but
unless it has some like amazing benefit that's awesome.
Yeah.
But attacking you for the sake of attacking you is boring.
No, it's not fun for me, but that's just me.
So that's one reason why I think maybe it's so high, even though we don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
Well, number 9, Mage Knight.
Yep. So a year ago, number 8 was
Eclipse.
Have we played it?
We have not.
We tried to. We just could not. A friend of ours has it, and we didn't get to play it with them.
Yep. And not through anyone's fault. Our friend who has it is more than willing to set it up, run it. I think the reason why we just haven't put forth that effort to do it is the time. It's a long game.
Yeah. The only thing we can speak to Eclipse about, like, we don't know too much, of course, because we haven't played it, but we know it's long.
Yep.
We know it's epic.
Yeah.
It would probably be a wonderful experience. Space, right?
Yep.
4X.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we know.
Yeah.
So, and I think is that the only one that was on the list that was 4X from?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
It must be the best one out there, and we'll try to play it this year.
Yeah, sometime. I think the thing is just, again, that time. If we're going to set aside an entire day to play games with friends, I'd rather play a bunch of good games than just one. Because if we played that one game all day long and it wasn't epically amazing, what a waste of a day.
Yeah, you would be disappointed.
Yeah.
See, I would be okay with it because I would really like to experience the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should definitely try to get that played.
Yeah. So
and we still have a friend who has it who would be willing to set it up, so we'll try.
Yeah.
Good.
So, number 7.
Number 7. Netrunner. Last year was number 7.
Have we played it?
We own it.
We do own it.
Yep. Do we own it in like a lifestyle game type choice?
No.
No.
No. We've played it quite a few times.
Yep.
And then we're like, this is so awesome. Let's get some expansions.
Expansions!
How many expansions did we get?
We got 2. We got a small one and we got a big one.
And then we're like, yay, let's deck build.
And we haven't touched it since.
I think for me, it's just a little, not overwhelming, but it looms. Like, you've got to I'm not a good player that can read all the cards and then decide these are all going to work together well.
Yeah.
That's not a strength of mine. So it scares me a little bit to open up that box and deck build, and that's the only reason why I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. I enjoy my games like this. Open up the box, take out the deck, and play.
Yeah.
That's what I want, and Netrunner doesn't have that.
I think Netrunner is high on the list because maybe the people that really focus on Netrunner and they play it a lot, it's probably ranked very highly in all of the games that they have.
Yeah.
And they're willing to like invest that amount of time.
Yep.
To make decks, play the decks, tweak the decks, take the decks apart, and this one's gonna work better.
Yeah. I can see someone owning Netrunner and that being their only game.
Or like they have 10 games or something.
Something, yeah. Like it could very much be a lifestyle game, like Magic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some people that have tons and tons and tons of games that love Netrunner.
I suppose, yeah.
And they just make the time for it because they love it that much.
There's just too many games for us to do that.
But, you know, I think that's why it's so high on the list, though. There's a lot of people out there that feel that way about Netrunner.
Yeah. What I would like to do is I would like to take all of our cards and I would like to sift through them and I would like to create my one net running deck. And then sit down and we can make your one corporation deck. Put the rest of the cards kind of off to the side and just have those. So when we want to play Netrunner, take it out, open the box, take the decks and play.
Yeah.
And then
we just have to invest, you know, a couple of days to read all the cards we have and put them together.
If we did that, I think we would be playing Netrunner
way
regularly.
More. Yeah.
Whereas because of that investment of time that we have to get to that point, it's been sitting on our shelf for over a year unplayed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because when you play Netrunner, it is amazing.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
Really, really like it.
Yeah.
Like, I really like it. I'm just saying that I'm not good at one part of the game, which is, like, probably one of the biggest parts of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, deck building doesn't interest me that much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's just me.
Okay.
But I can definitely understand why it's number 7 a year ago.
Yeah. So it's number 7, Netrunner. A year ago in January 2015, the number 6 game on the list was Caverna. Do we own this?
We do own Caverna.
Have we played it? We've
played it quite a lot of times.
Yes, we have.
Yep. Caverna is a fun game. It's kind of a cousin to Agricola.
Yep.
You've got a little cave and your dwarfs and you're making your cave happy, and then you've got a field and you've got animals in it, so you've got cute animeeples and you're making fences, and I really like it. The only thing about Caverna that is hard for me to play is that everything's available.
Yeah.
So you either fall into one camp or the other. You love everything being available, or you find that overwhelming and wish that it offered you maybe 5 or 6 options and you got to choose the best one out of 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Rather than looking at 50 things and trying to decide which one you want to go for.
Yeah. If you're like a heavy strategy gamer, like you want all the randomness or chaos in the game to come from playing the players and not from the game itself, then you're probably going to like Caverna a lot, because it is the start of the game is always the same, and it comes down to the choices the players make in all those massive options on how the game is going to play out differently. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not something that we enjoy as much as other mechanisms.
You know, it doesn't have any goals, does it?
Nope.
So if it had a couple of goal scenario cards or something that you could shoot for for the end of the game, that would help me tremendously.
Yeah. Because
I wouldn't feel quite so overwhelmed by all my choices.
Yeah.
But every time I play it, I have fun with it. I just find I tend to have a lot of AP with that game.
Yeah.
And it makes the game a lot longer than it should be.
Yeah.
But I really do enjoy it when I play it.
I enjoy playing it with different people because there's so many different systems and mechanisms and options. It's always interesting watching someone do something completely unexpected.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Because you can like spend your whole time in your cave if you want.
Yeah.
You can ignore your farm.
Yeah.
Or you can just farm if you want.
Yeah.
and then just upgrade your cave what you need to do the farming.
Yep.
So it is interesting. And then you're going to put rooms in your house that's going to give you the points for the end of the game. So yeah, there are goals that you could pick. It's just not, these are the 3 you have to choose from this time.
Yeah.
I find that easier.
It's interesting because cows are really difficult to get. Like it takes a lot of work to get some cows going. And we played it, and a friend of ours managed to work a system in such a way that I didn't even consider before, and like on turn like 2 or 3 had 2 cows that were reproducing cows. And I just like, I can't believe you just did that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it was, I think he was set for food for the rest of the game, and it was just
or you
flying.
Can vegetables too.
Yep.
You can grow vegetables, which is neat. And it's easier to feed your people in Caverna than it is in Agricola.
I like Caverna more than Agricola because it doesn't seem as unforgiving. And that is one thing I do not enjoy about Agricola.
Yeah, but you should kind of wait on that.
Well, yeah, I'll talk more about Agricola then, but the thing that I don't like about Caverna, 1, all of that stuff, but 2, the fact that it doesn't have the cards or the decks that Agricola does. And that would say exactly what you're talking about, is it would give you some kind of goals or focus. So, definitely deserves its spot. Very good game.
Yeah.
Yep. Number 6,
sure.
Caverna. So, number 5
is Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Do we have Puerto Rico?
We do indeed.
Have we played Puerto Rico?
A couple times.
We have.
A few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
I enjoy Puerto Rico a lot. I like getting all those little gardens and stuff. Or not gardens, but the things that produce stuff.
Yep.
And you're resource managing, and you're shipping them on boats, and then you're buying buildings or something, right? I get them a little mixed up with San Juan and Puerto Rico, because we tend to play San Juan a little bit more just because it's easier to set up and stuff, and it goes by faster.
And you need 3 people minimum for Puerto Rico.
To play Puerto Rico, yeah. But there's a variant for 2, we just haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
I enjoy Puerto Rico a lot, though. It's a good Euro.
Yeah. Yeah, very neat systems. All the stuff with like having your plantations and your buildings, and then manning them with colonists, that kind of stuff, all of that seems very straightforward Euro mechanisms that are just easily recognizable.
And they're satisfying to play.
Understandable.
Yeah.
What makes Puerto Rico kind of shine is the whole pick and roll and following.
Yes.
Which is very, very cool, and keeps everyone in the game at all times.
Right.
And it also makes it a little bit interactive, because what can you do to get the benefit of taking that role that's not going to benefit people?
People at the table.
It's a very unique, interesting interaction that you don't always find in Euros.
Right. Yeah, the game interacts with the players.
Yeah.
On a high level, I think.
Yeah, very cool. It's
and I think
ugly.
It's not that ugly. There's uglier games out there.
It's just there's no good artwork in it. It looks. I'd love to get a
there's an uglier one.
Oh, probably, but still.
Yeah.
Just because it's not the ugliest doesn't mean it's not ugly.
I don't find it that ugly. I don't know why I don't find it ugly.
I just like the buildings. There's a cardboard shit with some text on it. Nothing.
Yeah, I suppose that is a little boring, but I mean the little plantations are cute.
Meh.
All the little bits you put on them are cute.
They're annoying.
Oh, what?
Because they're little tiny.
I like them.
I would love to get like the deluxe version of Puerto Rico. That would be amazing.
We would have to make sure it plays that 2-player variant good before we invested in that.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it's high on the list, because of, like I said, it's a very satisfying Euro to play.
Yeah.
And the interaction between the mechanisms, the players, and the game and the players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is very excellent. So I think that's why it's quite high.
Yep. Number 4 last year was Agricola.
Do we own Agricola?
We do indeed.
Have we played Agricola?
We have.
You've played it once.
Yep, twice.
You've played it twice?
I think so, yeah.
Then I've played it 3 times. Because I played it with friends before we got it.
Yep.
I liked it, but it's a very, like you said, it is an unforgiving game.
Yes. And I don't enjoy that.
And now the cards, at the beginning, you say they're good goals to shoot for at the end, but how you draft them, I was reading them all, and I was like, I was very confused, like which one to take. Like it wasn't obvious to me. And I think that just is my inexperience of the game.
Yeah.
That's a game that it's another lifestyle game, I think. You're going to play this game often, and you're going to learn it really well.
Yeah.
And then you're really going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you don't enjoy learning the game and all those plays, then maybe it's...
Yeah. I've actually had people tell me that too, that said, oh, you don't like Agricola? Well, how many times have you played it? Oh, you need to play it at least 3 or 4 more times before you start enjoying it. And while I can understand and appreciate that in a game, to me that immediately says, well, why am I going to do that if I'm not enjoying it?
It's like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
I'm not training for the Olympics here.
Well, maybe if you're like in the Agricola Olympics.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of like.
Yeah. I'm still interested enough in it that I want to play it a few more times.
Yeah.
To see if I can elevate my gameplay.
There we go.
Because, yeah, you need to play it. You need the experience.
Yeah.
To enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we don't have that experience yet.
It's also very much a game where if you don't have that skill or experience and you're playing against people who are experienced, you're going to have your butt handed to you.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And if you can get a group of people together that that all love it and all delve into it and all have that experience and just love that, I can see why Agricola is so high on the list.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that commercial we had in Canada when I was a kid. Those who like it a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
For me though, I do like the cards at the beginning. I think that's a really cool way to focus your strategy.
Yeah, I kind of wish that you were just dealt out 1 or 2. How many did you get to keep?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Because me not knowing the game as well, trying to pick one that's going to really work for me is really difficult. But I know some of them are overpowered too, so I've heard that before. Like, I don't know from playing, I've just heard other people say it.
Yeah, maybe some of, like, because you can get expansion decks with new cards, which we don't have, so that's kind of nice.
Just have the original, yeah.
But I think maybe we should play it a couple of times without the cards and just so that we can understand the basic
movement of the game.
And once we understand that better,
we'll be able to maneuver ourselves in the game better.
Yeah. And then we'll understand the cards.
Right.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. Yeah. So, yeah.
But for me, all that sounds like a ton of work.
You'd rather just play a quick fun game?
Yeah. I really would.
Sometimes you gotta invest a little time.
Not if I'm not having fun.
Let's talk about number 3.
Okay, number 3. Number 3 last year was Through the Ages.
Now, do we own this game?
No.
We did.
We did.
In preparation for the new edition being released, isn't it just released today? This is February 2016.
Yep.
So we sold our copy.
Yep.
So that we could have some money to get the new one.
Yeah, absolutely. Through the Ages. We've played it a number of times. We have some videos on it.
We've played the introductory game and the second hardest game.
True. We have not played the full
game.
Yeah, we haven't played that yet.
Yeah.
And the reason we haven't played that is that's the one that takes full wars.
Yeah.
Full scale wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we're not that interested in.
We're gonna try it, of course.
Yeah.
At least one time.
Yeah.
But we have to wait until we invest in our new copy, which we haven't been able to do yet.
Yep.
It's not available exactly just right now.
Through the Ages, I love it. I love the cards as they come out and they shift down and become cheaper.
That's one of my favorite mechanics in a game. And it makes those hard decisions because some of them get taken off too.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I need to do this, but if I don't buy that card, it's going to disappear next time.
Yeah.
And
this is a prime example of a mechanism that we enjoy over the mechanism of Caverna, where everything's available. It's overwhelming and we don't enjoy it. Whereas in Through the Ages, every round you can look at a very limited set of choices and figure out, and then you learn those cards. And then the next time you play, you'll be looking for a couple of those cards while you're learning new cards.
Or you'll be introduced into some new ones. That might be better. Yeah. And then I really like how your people work, all those little bits on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like the ore and the food and
Yeah, I like how
it
there's
moves.
a number of different resources, but it's all just kind of controlled by 2 different pieces.
Tracks, yeah.
Very, very...
I really like it.
Very awesome.
And you can get points from all kinds of different things. We're kind of neutral on point salad, so I mean that doesn't bother us in a game.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we're not offended by it. So.
No, it's awesome. Really looking forward to the new one because this was also a very ugly game.
It was sad.
It was very ugly.
Yeah.
I think the first time we ever got introduced to it, it was at a game day, and a friend of ours brought it out and said, "Hey, who wants to try this?" And you're like, "I want to," and I was like, "Oh, I'm good." It looked like,
but I knew it was high on
Yeah.
the Board Game Geek list, and I was like, "Of course I want to try it. I have to find out why it's so high." And I played it, and I kept talking to Justin. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, we have to play this game together. It's awesome. Like, it really does deserve the number 3 spot because just how everything works together and flows, and it's a really tight machine.
It's amazingly well put together.
Yeah, it just works for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, loved it, bought it. Actually, I think we got it in a math trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really enjoyed it. Sold it off because we are getting the new edition. I can't wait for the new edition. New artwork, better bits, better pieces.
And they updated cards based on data of a whole bunch of plays, is what I keep hearing people say.
Yeah.
So they've taken statistics of all these people, all these really great players
like
that have
thousands and
played
thousands of
it,
games.
and then
Balanced
tweaked
it better.
all the cards.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you can find someone talking about it in a podcast or on YouTube because it's it's an interesting topic if you're interested in Through the Ages.
Yeah. Can't wait to play the new version.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
The number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
Is Terra Mystica.
Terra Mystica. Yep.
I can understand why it's number 2. And do we own it?
We own it. We've played it a number of times.
Have the expansion.
Yeah, have the expansion, which we've played around with a couple of pieces, but not all of it yet.
Yeah. I really enjoy the game, although the board that comes with it is a little bit large for a 2-player game.
Yes.
But everything else is awesome. I like how you've got your player board and all your pieces are on there, and as you remove the pieces, you get different things underneath them happen, like different abilities or whatever.
Yeah.
And then how your 3 mana bowls are interesting to manipulate those.
Yeah, it's a cool little puzzle within the game.
It's a puzzle, it's like a mini game in a game.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
The only reason why I think Terra Mystica does not hit our table as often as I would like it to is because nobody has designed a board for 2 players. And it's very frustrating. This is a game where basically it shouldn't even be a 2-player game. It should be like 4 and up.
4 and up? No,
something like
3.
that. Maybe 3.
3 works.
Yeah, 3 would be okay. It's just the board is way too open, and a 2-player game
well, you
doesn't
need
work.
to have your houses next to other houses,
Yeah.
and you need those houses to interact with each other to get your bonuses to make the game blossom.
Yeah.
And then if you end up putting your house somewhere, and then they put your house close, but then you actually end up thinking, well, we spread this way instead of this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it loses some of its shiny stuff.
Yeah. And I don't understand why nobody has sat down to make a workable 2-player board. Even the board itself, you can't just cut off a section, because as soon as you cut off a section, the different terrain types,
how they're distributed.
Yeah, they get imbalanced. There's no way to cut the board off with a straight line that doesn't create an imbalance in the terrain types. It's kind of frustrating. I want to sit down and make a 2-player board and maybe have it printed on a mouse pad, and then I could see this happen, like us playing it a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe the designers could just do that.
Justin, that's rude. He doesn't mean that.
No, I do.
Justin,
I totally do.
It
doesn't make any sense why nobody has created a 2-player workable game board for this game.
Because maybe the optimal player count is actually 3 or 4 players.
Or 2 if we had a smaller board.
Well, yeah. Maybe.
Anyway,
so
make it happen.
Yikes.
Now, when you do play this with 3, 4, 5 players, the game is awesome. Yeah. Awesome mechanisms, lots of depth, and
there's those good choices you have to make.
And I love, you can kind of delve into this because depending on which faction you start playing with,
Oh, and that's another thing.
Your
too.
game style
Yeah.
is going to be
different.
not completely different, but it's going to be different enough that your game is going to be very different.
Right, because you've got all those different types of people to play with.
Yeah.
And it makes the game very interesting because it is going to slightly, change your strategies and your tactics.
So I can understand why it has such a high slot, because it is such a unique, really good interactive,
replayable game.
Yeah. I just, unfortunately, because of that 2-player thing, we don't get to play very often.
Yeah, it's got a great epic scope to it.
Yeah. So, number 1 in 2015 was Twilight Struggle.
Do we own it?
No.
Have we played it?
Nope.
So we really can't talk about it.
Not a whole lot.
The only thing that we can do is say what we know about it.
Yeah.
It's a 2-player game.
Yep.
It's it's about the war of some sort.
The Cold War.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're the two head to head.
Yeah.
Going against each other.
Yep.
And it's a long game, isn't it?
I believe it's very long, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's the best of its kind, obviously because it's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who have played it rate it very high because they really they really like this game.
Yeah.
And the type of people that want to play it are the ones that play it.
A lot.
So they're the ones that rated it.
Yeah. It was actually interesting because last year I taught junior high social studies, and we actually studied the Cold War. And the Cold War wasn't like this little tiny war between these two superpowers. It spilled over into like a global thing, which comes out in the game. It's all very thematic. It's all very historically based. And also it's very, very, very deep. So as you play it, you're going to learn what not to do and what to do. And if I were to play against someone who'd played it a couple times, they would trounce me.
Yeah, well, they would know all their cards.
Yeah. So it is a lot of depth in understanding the game, a lot of depth in understanding the strategies, and there's definitely as you play, you're going to get skill.
Yes.
And so I think that's why it's so high, because the people that enjoy it are going to invest, like you're saying, all that time and skill into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we know about it.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Let us know if any of our understandings of the games that we have not played are
completely
incorrect, and then
There's not too many of them. Twilight Struggle is one. Eclipse is the other.
Everything else we played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's cool.
So we didn't do too bad.
On our epic quest.
No, we did not.
Yeah.
Just 2 games, one of which we could play. And actually, a friend of ours bought Twilight Struggle just so we could play it and say we'd played all of them.
I know.
Just
and
haven't.
We just didn't. Well, he said something about the rule book. He
And
tried to read the rule book, and it was a monster of a rule book.
Yep.
So they gave it to a friend. Here, read this rule book so we can play it. And I'm pretty sure I haven't heard that they've played it yet either. So
yeah.
We'll have to
it's a bit of a monster.
We'll have to get an update on that.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the list.
Yep. So that's January 2015's top 10 board game geek games. Just a little bit of us talking about what we know of them and why they might be where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And giving you an abridged version of our epic quest that we want to say. Now we have completed almost
many epic quest.
It's
achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80%.
There you go.
Anyway.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Silver instead of gold. It's all
awesome.
good. Yeah. So our next video for this series is going to be taking a look at 2016's
what the list
top
is
10
right
list.
now.
Yeah.
Did you take it as of today?
As of today.
Okay, which is like February the something 6th or 7th or 8th or something like that.
Yep.
So we're gonna shoot a different video, and if you wanna look at that, check it out.
There'll be a little eye here that you can click on and go to the next one.
He's gonna put an eye in.
Yep, the eye.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you in the next video.
Laters.